Welcome back to Adventures in Adversity, a podcast where we talk to people who turn triumph or whoa. So there we go. Let's start
Is
over.
it what we are
Podcast.
talking about? Yeah, we're real.
You know
We're
what?
inspired to be real.
Coffee. It's Saturday morning. We'll start
Yeah.
that over. Where we turn trauma into triumph. We turn adversity into adventure. There we go. Keeping it
There we
real.
go. Woo!
Yes.
Love it.
Woo! Working on the intro.
Yay,
Now I just got to work on my closing too.
Amazing.
But yes, thank you so much for being here. I want to welcome my guest for episode 95. I am so
Wow.
incredibly grateful. Yeah, every time I say that, I'm so grateful when someone sits down with me to share their story. And with that, I'd like to introduce Valeriya.
hmm Perfect. I love it how you say it. Amazing. Even
Valeriya,
without
okay.
training, I can open this because people usually they ask me like, in advance, but then I said, you know exactly why you would like to call me and why you're channeling right now. Just but you say it just perfectly. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. So Valeriya, I don't even know where to start with you because there's so many aspects of your life that are so inspirational to me. And I feel like since we've connected via Instagram, we met today, but we've been communicating. Your energy is so supportive of anyone who kind of comes into contact with you. And I think it's such a testament to everything you do and how you share your story. You really put out an amazing energy. And I know that's a testament to your story, right? And everything you've been through. So I'm just
Absolutely.
gonna, yeah, I'm just gonna let you kind of, you've got a PhD in neurodiversity. You do all kinds of amazing things. And I know that there's a story of adversity behind that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Oh
So
yes,
where would
but
you like to
can I call
start?
you Dee?
Yeah.
Like we already so friends, like since like I know, yeah, we started. First of all, thank you so much that you are here. You are giving me the most precious, tremendously precious commodity what we can give to each other now, especially in this era of oh my god, everything became so digital. People don't want really to invest their effort and time like in this sitting talking feeling like you said you have already brilliantly mentioned the word energy so much time because whatever we can talking about the help and tremendously opportunities of AI still it cannot transmit the energy of the people when we are in deep interaction like now with full awareness, right? So thank you so
Yeah.
much for inviting me. Yes, we've been back and forth together a couple of months. And whenever
Yeah.
I can see your content, I love it so much. I try to support, I always am engaging, I'm listening, I'm responding by my frequency and energy. I can feel it, like, though it's just maybe screen and I know we are ocean across. I'm in Norway, you in California, but still
Yeah.
it's this threads of energy of aligned mind people and it is so beautiful and like we have already talked before we push this button that we know the people right with the same energy, right? And we
Yeah.
kind of this tribe and family which has this magnetic energy impulses and then we come and we can scan it with our like fibers and then we're here. So thank you so much. I'm
Yes.
definitely grateful because we have already you and me discussed before again this recording started that this is amazing opportunity even for us. I can say and you were so much agreed to feel the depth of this interaction that when we are doing the shows and it's actually the real life because people
It's
this is the show, this is like maybe it can even sounds like show that is something like just for performance, but no, after we can have like thousands of thing to perform actually, but when you're on the show you're so present, you're just here with your thoughts, with your emotions, with your energy, right? And people, you can say whatever you want but people feel this energy and this is so beautiful that now it's maybe the real time, one of those real times in my day when I can sit with a person and just channel everything toward being here, be now, be authentic. And then like I've
yes.
told already many people ask me all the time, you love really, it's not like, exhausting, scare or something.
Yeah.
No, because actually, yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it is, of
It's
course. Otherwise, I could be like a robot if I didn't feel anything. But the worst
yes,
case scenario, what can happen? Like, if I forget one word in English because I do speak 7 languages, so what? I will be
it
killed for
doesn't
that.
matter.
No, right?
Yeah.
So no matter. So, and every interaction like you and me now, I'm always position myself both like student and a teacher, but mostly student because I'm learning all the time, like embracing, like, and like you said already, Brent, every single show is changing you. After the show, you are another person. It is so
Yes.
beautiful.
And I don't know if you see the sun keeps moving and I'm like
Yeah, I
trying to
love
get
it. I
I
see it.
think I think God is like shining down on us right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I actually wanted to mention
Like,
it.
this is so funny. I'm like trying to get all situated. But let me move this real quick. We're just keeping it
Yeah,
real
yeah,
today.
yeah, it's a real. Please do, because
I love there we go. One day, I always tell myself, I'm like, one day I'll have a big studio with proper light. There we go. We're good. Perfect.
but you know what?
Uh,
Um, but for me also was a dilemma. Like, also sometimes people, I can see everything is evolving, and like podcasters, they're
yeah.
like also involved these big teams, editing teams. It looks
Yes.
so scary and professional for normal people to start shows who really have
Yes.
voices, but maybe they don't have all these opportunities. So for me also it was kind of dilemma. I've got some decent amount of sponsorships, and they ask me, but you want we move you to this studio, this fancy stuff and blah blah blah, and I have the opportunity now, right? And
Yeah.
then I was thinking, like, first, oh, it's cool, thank you so much. First of all, I was like, okay, I am preaching authenticity, I'm preaching like to be so
Yes.
real and to share your unique story. And my podcast story started while I was in mental institution. I was in my pajama, guys. What are
Wow.
you talking about? It's cool to have it, yes, but then it's immediately I am preaching for building bridges, not barriers. Like, I'm not judging that people are doing in this very professional way. Of
Sure.
course. Why not?
Totally.
We all different. Totally. I love it. I support it, everything. But it's not probably who is just right now like me, because I want really to build this huge, like, really embracing bridge between me and people who actually is like me, that one day they found themselves so low that they cannot even like get up of the bed. What are you talking about? Because I was there so many times. I was like first 3 episodes, but it was in my pajama in mental institution. So and I'm still every single moment when I'm on the show, when I'm doing my show, I repeat that, not like it's not for show off, then definitely, right? And it's not for performance. I actually showing that I'm totally the same human being. I have this pain. I have my OCD. It doesn't
Wow.
matter how you call it. I have human issues which everybody is experiencing now. So actually, and I do really believe that every person has a unique story, which is totally worth
Yes.
of being told. And then, of course, if now we all of a sudden, like, how many? It's 6 million podcasts now. 6 millions. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know
That's a
that,
lot.
but all of a sudden somebody asked me on the show. I said, I don't know. I know it's rapid scaling. But I said, no, I
Yeah.
don't know. And I was made my search and like, oh my God, 6 million. And of course, it's so overwhelming for a person who actually feel the void to start. And then if all of a sudden he starts or she starts from stats, then he can like quit before starting, right? And this
Yes.
story should be told and actually transform anybody's life, especially this person's life, right? So for me, when I'm sharing my story every single time, we should never underestimate who can hear it, and maybe you can change, even if it's one person's life, and even just for one day, that he or she can get more hopeful, inspirational. It's already big deal. Like for me, that's why, like, I'm sitting home
Huge.
now, I'm still in my, I feel like this is my energy here. It was like, I don't need to go back to my mental institution. I can actually. They love it because they knew they're like, "Are you're like crazy. You're amazing." Because I remember my doctors. I have different appointments. Like I was 4 weeks. It's not the first week definitely, but maybe already before I had to be
Yeah.
out. And then I said, can I please have my this group treatment, like not this like I
Yes.
don't remember,
Mhm.
like 2 but 3 or something. And then can I please have like at least 40 minutes, like nobody come and like knock and how are you, because they're checking all the time. They said yes, yes, what's the, I said, or you can't come, I can introduce you, but actually I'm trying to run podcast here. They're like, what?
That's
What do you mean? I said, yeah, I'm sharing my story. Why not? Like, and it's true. And it was so funny because I'm still thankful to my very best friend. Now I call him podcast guru, Alan, the best ever. He has been into podcast and magazines business for 10 years. He lives in Australia. We have never seen each other like in real life, but we every single day, like we are best friends
Yeah.
because of course it's energy. It's a lot of how our hearts are connected now. And it was from his adversity and adventures and every story, how he started his podcast to share his voice many years ago. And then he
Yeah.
reached out to me, and he wanted to feature me on his like magazine on the cover, and take interview, because before, like just a couple of months before, I was on the red carpet on Cannes Festival, right?
I
So
saw that.
yeah, like
Mhm.
I've been 3 years in a row, just not this year. And
Yeah.
then it was like he wanted to talk about modeling and my advocating for sustainable fashion. And then I was myself again. So Alan, perfect, what can be more sustainable fashion than I'm wearing now when I'm in mental institution? My bamboo pajama, actually, it's very sustainable, and it's actually my favorite. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa, girl, like I said, you know what? And if you want me like here, I can be guest like here. He's like, really? You are not I said, no, no, no. You know what? Before I believe it's weakness. Now I know it's a strength. If people believe it's so easy to stop everything in your daily life, take the wheel and drive to mental institution and say, you know what? I'm so not okay now. I have intrusive thoughts 24/7. Sorry, they are so intense, and they are many of them suicidal. If people believe it's
Yeah.
weakness, try it. Just try it.
Mm.
Like, first you have to acknowledge and talk to yourself, right? Then you should share with your
Yes.
family and friends, because then you should find the solutions, who will be taking care of whom, and how actually you're dealing with all what is going on every single day. And I had PhD, I had and still have, thanks God, my parents, elderly, um,
Yeah.
people from Ukraine, they're refugees, both of them. They have cancer at that time. My husband, who was through his issues after major heart operation. I have adopted
Wow.
2 kids from Ukraine. One is neurodivergent. She had many panic attacks, right? It was the year the
Mm.
war broke up in my country. But now I know, because everything was on my shoulder, right? All the time to
Yeah.
take care of all these puzzles. So one day, just my brain gave a signal like, Valeria, it's enough. You
That's
cannot.
enough.
You can. It's enough. Now, where is your time? Where actually you remember that you also have some, at least space between all of that, right? And then, because I have OCD, and people sometimes believe it's just like, about having everything in order, or you have to clean. But unfortunately, OCD has a lot of different faces, right? And sometimes just about rituals,
Yep.
and that is like intrusive impulse to do something. But also you have intrusive thoughts. That's why they call intrusive, because they're actually absolutely not rational, right? But because your brain doesn't
Yes.
know that when they really is coming, then you have like the whole reaction to the body and everything. You like again, because like I've shared already, my many of them is suicidal, and then I'm probably the last person who doesn't want to live. I have so much to live for. That's why it's like crash in your nervous system. Why then you like getting them, right? And you start like first reaction, you
Yes.
like want to resist, you put all your energy in resistance, but you can't. As much as you push, Everything is taken over of
More.
intrusive thoughts, right? It's like, don't think about pink elephant. Try, just try it. You can never succeed.
Oh,
So then
I've
you have
struggled
to
with
meet
OCD
them.
too. I
Mhm.
completely understand. I have it as well.
Yeah, yeah, but then you know, right? That, and when
I
I
do.
was experienced them first time in my life, it was the year I adopted my first kid. It was for 17 years ago because I was working in the orphanage for kids with special needs in Ukraine, like
Oh,
volunteer
wow.
every year, every summer. And then at that time I didn't understand because it was like the best everything I could do. I was so devoted, like it was church and like, God, faith, and these
Yep.
kids. Like, I was totally into that. And the most I can imagine punishment I could get, like, but now I'm trying, like, we are talking to turn into something positive and creative fuel for something
Yes.
good, right? But I've got my very first intrusive thought actually. It was that I was at the same time like harming babies, right? Can you imagine? It's like postpartum. I didn't know at that time what was going on
Yes.
because it was so much stress. I decided to adopt the baby, or I felt it by God, just like it's my calling, it's my mission, this is my baby. And then
Yep.
because she had so much special needs that actually we've got the message that she would never talk and she would never walk. It's a lot. And then it was so much pressure on me from all angles that
Oh,
people tried to stop me to doing that, like, and then I even
yeah.
went to church. I was like crying and praying, and I want to have a signal from God, what should I do? But I crystal clear knew already in my heart what actually I would be doing, right? So it was just a lot of pressure and stress and everything. And anyway, the whole summer I was together with her, and I started like making all these documents. And the very first week when like, actually it's already has been settled and I've got her home first time, like the very first week, all of a sudden I've got this intrusive thought, like,
Yeah.
I even could not breathe. I didn't understand anything because all of a sudden I didn't know at that time that there is something which is intrusive thoughts. I didn't know that we are not our thoughts. We are not our emotions.
Yes.
Now I know,
Yes.
since so many years detachment, that we can observe them. You have to train your awareness. You are not like many years of adversity, struggles, training, meditation, yoga, schooling, improvising, crying, being
Yeah.
mental institution again, like, So, but like when you're talking so about studios, and actually why I am sharing this story, like you just
Yes.
like raised up and just, okay, I need to fix some light or something. The same with me. I'm
Feel
trying to say, you know what? This is context. This is nice to have like professional, cool and team and stuff, yes. But so many people like me, like you sitting out there and believe like, wow, look at her, she's a star or he's a star. He has this big name now, big huge studio team for editing, and how can I, with my small voice, go there into the 6 millions of podcasts and actually share something? That's why I'm always trying to say to people, forget about this. Even if you have
Yeah.
technical issues, it's okay. If it's like
Just
somebody
be.
comes, your kids or dog or
It's life.
it doesn't matter.
It
Doesn't
doesn't
it
matter.
doesn't just your
Mm-mm.
voice. Actually, your story, this is the most important, especially now in the era of curated, filtered, massive.
Oh,
Oh, this noise from social media, it's killing. Bri, how are you dealing with all this stuff? How?
well,
How?
first of all, everything you just said, I feel like so many people, including myself, are so grateful that people are just open about feeling like your brain is like rebelling against you when you're like, wait,
Mhm.
what? Why? What? And I've had those feelings of intrusive thoughts too, where you're like, wait, where did this come from? But then you like attach yourself to it and then you start to be like, right?
Mhm.
And it's just this, I had it. I had the same thing where I was just like, and then I started learning about OCD and then being
Mhm.
like, what? I'm not I remember it. It was like 2010. I was like, "Wait, what do you mean I'm not my thoughts?"
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, "What
Exactly.
are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not?" I was like, "Oh."
Mm-hmm. I was in
So
shock, but no, it took me so many. Yeah, sorry. I'm not good list. I know God gave us two
no,
ears,
I'm not
one
either,
mouth.
I interrupt.
Oh,
We're
God.
neurodivergent, right?
Yeah. Like, oh my God, all of a sudden, like you want to talk, you want to be engaged, and they're like, I even put like something here when I'm running the show because that even more. I'm like kind of facilitator, but my guest is a star, and I'm like babbling. Blah, 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 blah. Oh
I
no, sorry. Actually, yes, it's your place, it's your stage, but it's again about being authentic.
It's
Somebody
real.
good listeners, two ears, one mouth. Yeah, I know I should talk less two times, but okay, not always.
I think it's like we get excited when we feel understood, maybe.
Yeah,
Like, we're like,
yeah, belong.
"You get
Mm-hmm.
it? Oh my gosh, like, what can we talk
Yes,
about? Everything."
yeah. That's exactly what I felt now. Yeah,
That's
she's my girl. She knows because so many people, like from 15 at when, but now we are more and more and more. From 15 until 20% are neurodivergent people. It's like by stats, but can you imagine that? We are 1,200,000,000
yeah.
people that are officially identified. But can you imagine how many people in other countries which they have never ever possible access to pay visit to a doctor? Like
Mm.
all these, can you imagine Africa, India, Bangladesh, you just name it. So I mean
Yeah.
we have just official stats for people who actually dare to disclose, who actually feel
Y
already at the edge
that's
that
the
they
thing.
go and say it loudly to the doctor. And now this special now mental health month awareness, and I'm so happy to see more and more how man is coming out because it's also
Yes.
another problem, right? That for us at least it's already so challenging. But okay, we are like females. We still are more okay to share. At least we are shareable
Yes.
creatures. But for men, especially in some cultures, no, you have to be macho. Are you crazy? You have to be Viking. You have to, it's not allowed to cry or that. And actually, I read statistics yesterday that um, men, they actually commit, for them, can you imagine, it's likely, it's easier to actually commit suicide for some cultures than actually coming out and acknowledge or share that they're struggling mentally. And
So
it's
sad.
a huge problem now. So I'm so happy that people now really start talking more and more because it's critically important because they're suffering sometimes even more, like with this press to care all this burden. You can't that, you can that, you don't have to be like this, you don't have to be like this. And for men, they even, we're like girls, like sometimes we like we can, like, you know what, we can cry out, we can, but for them, like, they they can't, especially in some cultures, like, these big
Mm-mm.
macho cultures. So still I made
Yeah.
it so, like, still when I got my intrusive thoughts first time, I was in Ukraine, right? So I didn't know what to do. I was afraid, I was guilty, I felt guilty, felt huge shame. I feel
Yep.
that I was the worst person on the earth, that I didn't was worthy to live because I started seeing that I'm harming babies. And I was like you said, how is it even possible? I was like 24/7 with them, taking care of all these babies. I have adopted one of them, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
I could see this picture. And then of course I immediately like glued this picture to me, to my identity, to my personality, right? And then I put these big stigma labels, like
Yes.
sick on myself, and I ran to the church. Actually, I've been first
Mhm.
2 days and nights, like continuously in the church. I was praying, I was crying, I was talking to God. I was so miserable, I was so lost. I was talking to priest, and then I made
Mhm.
this oh, I don't remember how you call it in English. Testament? No, how, testament
Tes
or some? Yeah,
testimony. Testimony?
yeah, yeah. Because
Sort of like
I was so afraid to open my mouth, even to share with my mom or with my husband or with my, we had three kids at that time. He has like
yeah.
three kids from previous marriages. How could I open my mouth and, you know what I saw?
M
If you
I'm
and
ha
finally,
mm,
when I saw it first time, saw it, and I told it to my mom. So of course she had never experienced anything like that. She was so afraid that she actually said that, okay, now you cannot come closer to your baby, right? Because we had already
uh-huh.
baby in another room. Because
Yeah.
I also believe that, okay, if I'm seeing this, it's me, and next step would be I am going to do it, right? But
Yes. Uh-huh.
intrusive thoughts, that it's that's why you feel so dissonance, because they're so irrational. They undermine everything what is actually normal in your head. Right.
Mm.
So yeah, it was my story. It was the beginning of this adversity, which has been huge adventure of my life.
Oh my gosh. Well, no, I think honestly, you sharing that, I know, and we have listeners all over the world. So in those
Mhm,
countries where they don't have access, or like even just here where someone's feeling like, I guarantee you someone hearing this has had intrusive thoughts or is having them, or maybe is like, wait, what's that word again? What did she just say? Intrusive
mhm,
thoughts? It's where the
mhm,
thoughts come in that are completely, what do they call it? Like ego dystonic, right? Where it's
mhm.
opposite of what you would ever, and you're like,
Exactly.
where do these images come from? Where do these thoughts? And then it it's paralyzing. It's
Oh yeah,
paralyzing. Like,
totally.
you're like, "I can't do this. I can't go on." Like, I for me, it was like I was worrying about bad things happening, or like, "What if I" oh, and then I was just the Brie personality was gone. It was
Mhm,
like,
mhm, mhm.
uh, y you know, I just thank you for sharing that, because I know I've experienced it, and I know somebody on the other end listening is like, "Wow, okay, I'm not alone." That's the biggest thing, right? Our brains, like, our brains are they're complicated, right?
Yeah, that's why please, please, I'm begging everybody who can listen us today or know that somebody is struggling. First of all, you are not alone. You have huge belonging to community. Because
Yeah.
first of all, that's why I went to another master. I start studying now. I'm studying even almost single day, because neuroscience is also developing every single day now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, Brie, for sharing your experience. And
Yeah.
it is so true that brain is the most complicated part of our body, right? And why I'm even speaking with my kids, like, please, please don't be ashamed. Don't feel it's your fault. Don't feel this guiltiness. I have carried buried so many years, because I didn't know that I was not my thoughts. I didn't know that
Yes.
thoughts and images, they are energetic frequency impulses that actually can never be controlled. They are coming from
Mm.
outside. It's stimuli, and brain is working like this. We have 24 hours, we have from 60,000 until 80,000 thoughts, impulses. Can you imagine? We just scan it. We scan it. And it's not like we produce them, we believe it's from inside out. No, they are bombing us, because that's why you never know, okay, why all of a sudden you could see something and it reminds you about something. So it came from outwards. And it's how your brain
Yes.
rewired this process, this one, and actually interpreter, and then you get this signal which goes to your body, and then you have like this reaction, but it happens just so quickly sometimes that you
Ah,
can follow this reaction, right? The same like when you go and all of a sudden you can smell something, and this smell already like send the signal that, oh, probably it was the situation, your childhood, that was the same smell, blah blah blah. You cannot follow all this, like, but it's so quickly the same, like, oh, this song, all of a sudden you could hear some song, right? Or so so I mean, like, really, what how you are bumped all the time of this 80,000 impulse per day, you cannot control. But by knowing that, by be aware that it's not actually the center of your brain who is like producing them because you want or you're bad or good person, but actually it's kind of this the center that translate them, put
yeah.
labels and all that stuff, actually, by getting everything from outside. And you know that intrusive thoughts, actually, they are, we all of them, people, all of us have them. It's not
Yes.
exclusive at all. It's just for us
Yes.
who is neurodivergent and have OCD, Unfortunately, our brain cannot operate so quickly that it like kind of automatically exclude them, like it's
Ah,
1.35 milliseconds or something. They like hit us, and then people with not OCD, they're like, oh, what is that? And that's it. They don't need to do
it's
anything.
fine.
It's fine. It's
They're just
automatic.
like,
But for us,
mhm.
because it's not unfortunately that easy, they kind of stuck. They come to you, they're more like slow mo, and then you have enough time to engage so much. It's actually metacognition. It's like cognition what you
Ah,
right, but meta is Latin word. It means about. Actually, why you feel judgment, guiltiness, or ashamed? Because you've got like this thought. It doesn't matter what kind of thought. Actually, for our brain,
yep.
doesn't matter. It doesn't exist positive, negative, automatic, intrusive, something. It's how we react to them, what we are thinking about them. That's meta. It's like
Yes.
meta is about. It's like when you got this right, and you have OCD, and it's slow mo, then you start like, why I'm getting this, what it means. Maybe I should be worrying about this. Oh, maybe I should feel guilt about this. Oh, why it's actually coming to me? Does it come also just to me? What I should do it with to eliminate? It's you see, it's like it's what
Ooh,
how we engage around this particular thought. But when we know
that
that
is
this,
yes.
yeah,
That was the way you explained that was
mhm,
so helpful because
mhm,
I'm literally so a thought comes in, it's
mhm,
so if you're neurodivergent or you've
mhm,
OCD, that
mhm,
that's my experience a lot where a thought will come in and I'm analyzing that thought and kind of like, what do I do with this thought? Is this
mhm,
something it's like and then whereas it maybe someone with not without OCD, maybe a distressing thought comes in and you're like, ah, that's garbage.
mhm,
Anyway, or like you don't even but gosh, I feel so seen when you say that because I feel like my thoughts are well, they used to be taken so seriously by my
mhm,
brain, every
mhm,
thought. And then now I'm able to let them go, but it was only through understanding that I am not my thoughts and like
mhm,
understanding them. So how would you
exactly.
know that if you know this? You
I
know?
had no idea. That's why I was like, I said, praying, crying, blah, blah. And in Ukraine at that time, when I acknowledged finally I could not live anymore. Actually, I was so bad that I believed that, okay, I am my thoughts. And maybe my subconsciousness saying to me, like, Valeria, you have adopted this kid. Everybody was right. That maybe now you're just so much in love, but maybe inside I'm actually was not sure. Like, I put all this like metacognition around this, what I saw. But now I know it's like totally
Yes.
garbage, like you say, right? And then I said,
Yes.
but what actually, if I'm seeing that, I justified it, that it's me, that now I'm going to do something. And then I believe that, wow. And the last thing ever in my world, I want to end up to harm my kid, which I love beyond the world. So then I decided it's much better if I actually am not existing than I'm hurting my kid. So I start planning suicide, right?
Mm,
To commit suicide, man. Yes, and that
I'm so
then
sorry.
usually I'm quite like energetic, and when I'm very present when I'm talking, I'm always trying to look into people's eyes. And my mom, she knows me very well. She's my best friend since childhood because I didn't have like family with a father. They got divorced. So my mom, she was always like so
Yeah.
supportive, best friend. And she immediately felt this channel like and that something going on, something really wrong. Because it was summertime and I started like packing and sorting like winter clothes all of a sudden in Ukraine. And she's like, why are you doing that? I said, no, I have friends and soon I'm flying back to Norway. And I decided just, I always was given a lot of like, things like maybe somebody needs it more than me. Maybe I don't need it. And she's like, what do you mean? But you coming back in the winter, you need these clothes. I said, I don't need that much clothes. And she like, stop, look in my eyes. Like, what's going on? And she knows that, okay, if she really pushed me to look into her eyes, that I said, no, no, mom,
Can't
and
hide.
she's
Yeah.
like, you're not okay. You have never been like this. I said, what's going on? I said, no, I'm okay. She said, not, you're not going out of this room until I know what's going on. And it was like, I'm so now blessed and happy because it was really, I was planning to commit suicide because I believed, okay, if I see the thoughts, and I didn't know they were
That's
intrusive,
it.
right? I tried to push them away. And you know very well,
Yes.
If you push
It
them, you
comes back
all
stronger.
of course they're everywhere, everywhere. Like I felt at
Yes.
from the time, like, and it's like you've said, Brie, it's paralyzing. You cannot breathe. It's so, even here on physical level, it's so painful. So that's
Yeah.
my, like, tell me what's going on. And then thanks God, I was like, finally, I just could not help hold everything anymore. I was bursting out of crying. I said, Mom, you have no idea. I have to commit, like, that you have given a birth to the worst person in the world. She's like, what do you mean? I said that you have no idea what actually I am thinking, I'm seeing, and I'm planning. Like or I said, my head planning. You have no idea. She's like, what? And I said, did you know that my baby Michelle, she was 1 year there? And I said, Mama, I cannot come to her like to change diapers without seeing that I'm harming her. I cannot go and now swim with her or bathe because I can see that I'm drawn here or something.
Yeah.
And then my mom, like, she, because she has never heard about this, she has never had, of course, it was like, what? Yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, it was like this moment. And in Ukraine, I was so responsible mother. I wanted, of course, to, it's now I have a friend, she's psychiatrist, and she said it's a huge difference between just three letters and one word. Sometimes we are saying to us, I don't want to leave, right? And then
Uh-huh.
she always say, okay, in Ukrainian it will be just one word, but maybe in English it will be two. She and then she always corrected me and said, no, there is huge difference between people who is thinking I don't want to leave and another I
Mhm.
don't want to live like that. And then you have to change like that. Because at that time,
Mm.
of course, I didn't want did not to leave. I wanted. I've just became a mom to a baby, which I love over the world. But I didn't want to live like that because I didn't know how to live like that. Getting all these
Yes.
intrusive thoughts all of a sudden, my identity shifted just for 1 second. Like I believe, like 30 years, like I believed I was normal, and
Yep.
1 second I've got the first one, right, and then it was like the life before and the life after. And immediately I
Yes.
felt like I'm the worst person in the world. I'm that and that. I'm not worthy living and all this stuff. And then we even like drove to Ukrainian mental institution, but at that time also almost 20 years ago, in
Yeah.
it was not that much knowledge. And I was happy and lucky enough because the president or chief doctor there at that place, he could listen
Mhm.
to my story. And he's like, Valeria, you know what? I know what it is. I know maybe how it's called, but unfortunately, so um, limited knowledge we have here in post-Soviet, and we
Uh-huh.
unfortunately don't have any specialists yet because I was like saying and crying continuously and saying I became crazy, I got crazy, I'm not worth living, blah blah. And then he's like, come to me, said, please calm down, you are not crazy. Because if you didn't feel this reaction that there is something going on wrong, then we could say that
Yes.
something actually went wrong. But because you feel so huge difference or
Yes.
contrast between what you've seen and who you are, it means actually no, you're still your
Mhm.
personality, you're still actually kind of healthy, but because it's disorder, it's come and go. It doesn't change
Yeah.
your personality. That's why you're reacting with all your bodies, because these thoughts are not you. And he's like, I
Yes.
know that, but unfortunately, if you live in Norway, please, we know Scandinavian country, they are more advanced in these treatments
Yeah.
because we have, like dark depression here. And a lot of people experience really suffering because of lack of vitamin
Yeah.
D.
Yes.
So here, a
Mhm.
lot of also fundings are invested in research. And now I'm actually living
Amazing.
in the city. We have huge neuroscience center. They are really making a lot, and we have even like Nobel Prizes winners with all these neuroscience genes.
Amazing.
So he said, I would advise you, please go back home and talk to the doctors there, because guaranteed they have much better treatment than us, because here we have just very heavy medications that you will be
Yeah.
like, you will
Zombie,
be,
right? It's
yeah,
kinda
yeah. He said that, let's be honest, that it's not good. So that's why I flew here, and it was many years ago, like I said, at that time I was little
yeah.
girl, so scared to death, like, because I was 30 years old, and like, it was not even one single day that I could live without crying, like, and feel that actually I didn't want to live, but again, like that, right? Like that. Because now I'm
Yes,
teaching so many people, please don't say I don't want to live like that, but you want to live. And there are now so many tools. Please, please go and ask for help. There is no
mm,
situation actually that you really cannot change. Really, there are a
yes.
lot of tools now because you want to live, but just not like that.
Yes. Gosh, I too have had thank you for sharing, like, I'm just gonna keep saying thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
And I too have had those thoughts, and I've done an episode about it, and I remember when I did an episode just talking about OCD and sort of like, oh, I just like, all the suicidal thoughts of like, I can't do this. I can't, I can't. I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm sharing this. Like, but you know what? Honestly, it's the biggest relief to
Hmm.
share and to
Hmm.
just be like, I struggle with identifying too much with my thoughts.
Yeah.
And then it's like millions of people go through it. But I
Hmm.
remember I think I was about 28 when I had like the first one where I was like, what was that?
Hmm.
Hmm. And then the distress comes of, oh my God, I can't, what's my brain gonna do today? Right? Like
Hmm.
what's going on? But then the thought of I am not my thoughts. Like the fact that it's almost like I heard someone say, like, you're sitting behind a waterfall, like get behind the waterfall. And like your thoughts are the waterfall, right? And
Hmm.
if you swim
Hmm.
behind it, you're watching it, right? And then I guess if you have OCD like us, you're watching it so intently where you're like,
Exactly.
what does that drop of water mean about me? What does that drop of water mean
Mhm.
about me? Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Um,
It's a huge
I
difference
just
that when we know at some point we are not our thoughts, it's like exactly uh, like Zen Buddhist meditation. They say that it's very difficult, but it's training. You can train your muscle. It's to be observer. That you're sitting on the bank and it's a river, right? And if you just want to think that, okay, or you can observe the clouds, right? Sometimes clouds beautiful,
yes,
you love them, but you just see them, because like everything shall pass, right? Like thoughts as well. So sometimes clouds can be, thunderstorm, blah blah. But if you still like just choosing consciously sitting and not be like engaged involved, but just observe them, right? It's kind of like these thoughts, or for me with clouds, it's okay, but for me it's easier sometimes. For example, the same if I'm sitting and trying to imagine like river, and river, like have a lot of different leaves from the trees, like if
yep,
it's autumn, and a lot of trees, and they can be beautiful. They were
yep,
different of type of leaves, old one, big one, ugly, beautiful and fresh and with flowers. And they also, of course, because river is flowing, also the leaves flowing, and then you can kind of, okay, this was this type of thought. This was like old one, which I could see it a lot of times, right? But okay, but still, how they can harm me? It just passing by, like But
yeah,
it much it's more difficult to of course do it than talk
yes,
about this, but especially for the first time, because your body actually, right? Your temple reacts so quickly that you cannot actually like separate them. But with the time, even if you try with 1 minute per day, just to try, it's like a muscle. You
just to
cannot get
try.
muscle for one day. Here the same muscle, right? So
Right.
a little bit, just a little bit. But for me, the huge um like for you, a changing point was to actually know that we are not our thoughts. For me, it's like, what do you mean? Exactly. I could hear first time when I was put in this mental institution. First
Yeah.
time, they're so professional here that even they explain me and they made all the drawings how our brain works, all these inputs, signals, like even from very physical angle, like that
Uh-huh.
they explain me very very in detail that my brain really could not, because OCD kind of trick, if somebody tells you something, they're like, no 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 no, maybe you specially saying that, but
Huh.
my thought, because they always try to
Yes.
twist you, like it's again this metacognition, you
Yeah.
still like try to even consider what people say to you, right? But, what do you mean you're not? But when like we are thinking in images, when you have this brain, when they like explain me everything, they were drawing everything, like no no no, even these pills that it's not you producing, it's like coming and bombing you, and you like interpret, you kind of scan
Mm.
them and put labels, but you don't have to, like it's like for brain, it's like, I was like, really, I was like in shock. It was like really changing moment for me. And I think, oh my god, if I could like really share this with so many millions people in the world, so please, please, because then it's immediately less what this the most the worst with us is what it's shame, guilt, right?
Shame.
Shame and
Yeah.
guilt,
Yep.
isolation immediately,
Yes.
then depression,
Yeah.
because then you believe that you're not worthy, you're not like other people, right? And then of course then you also believe that, oh, people can see it on you that you are not normal, or then all these like
Yeah.
labels you put on yourself immediately. And it's self-limiting, of course, beliefs that they go to self-limiting actions, you don't believe in yourself, and it's like you're destroying yourself slowly every single time you get it, right? Because you're so shameful
Yeah.
that you sitting like this and believe one person close to you, and immediately like, if, oh my god, if just this person could know what I have seen now, like, right? Then like
Yeah.
this person
Yeah.
have no idea how crazy I am. And like, what if, yeah, you know what I mean, you've been there. So
Oh,
actually
I
I
really
also
do.
want to, yeah, to share,
Mhm.
like last year, like, no, 2 years ago, when I started my podcast in mental institution, because like I said, I'm there searching so much more. And I was part of very special therapy, like 4 days exposing therapy. Then you have to expose
Oh, yeah.
yourself to the edge. Like, it's the same if you're afraid to take the elevator, you have to take it, but slowly, like,
Yes.
once the
Yes.
same, if you're afraid of flying, you have to start flying, or you cannot escape your fear, you have to face it. And then I've been through very, very special, it's the hardest part of my life, when you have to expose yourself to the edge, exactly of these intrusive thoughts. So they have arranged everything while I was there, that I have to be so close to actually of these thoughts. I almost wanted to do it, right? And actually when I was practicing it, it was, they pushed me so much that I had at that moment, I I, I pushed my brain not to stop thinking of this, but really with all my emotions continue go on this.
You
Can you
just
imagine
like
it?
yes, you just lean
Yeah.
into it, right?
Yeah. And then what's happening then, when you try not to think of something, then they're like coming all the time. But actually when you see it like really deliberately, okay guy, okay, you can even use F word, like, come to me now, I have like 15 minutes specially space for you guys, all this.
Come on in. Let's
Come
do
on,
it.
come on, I'm here. Just like, and then you really like even specially try to imagine all the worst, like Spielberg, Hitchcock scenarios. Really, you
Uh-huh.
try to like all this, and then you can try it even like in 3-4 minutes. You s- it's kind of like they're losing their strength, because the whole point, they should scare you, but you still sit in here and
Becomes
they're like,
ridiculous.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
what's the point to come to you? Like, you even try even to pull them back, because all of a sudden they get in line, they don't want to stay, it's not fun. And when you do it like that, it's called this technique here in Norway, they practice, it's called warring quarter. The
Okay.
warring quarter, that you choose specially quarter 15 minutes per day, every
Uh-huh.
single day, the same time. And it's not allowed to postpone, it's not allowed to find
It's
excuse not to practice it. No no no, it's very very scary. First, let's say okay, if it's really severe episode, first week, it's still, especially first 3 days, you're breathing, you're sweating because you really, your brain like believe what's going on, but
Yeah.
what's happening next day, it's because you have already experienced that and nothing has changed, nothing has happened, because thoughts are not actions. So your brain start actually understanding, like, it doesn't matter what
Wow.
you're seeing, but so what? So what? You're still sitting, breathing, you still have lived like, 24 hours again, and you're again here, and you're so brave, and you're like, okay, come again, come. And he already
Yeah.
knows your brain, like,
Oh,
okay,
this is okay.
but
We can
so
yeah.
what? And then why it's helpful, always it's helpful, because it doesn't matter if like 15 minutes you're sitting with them, that next 24 hours until next day war and quarter, you don't see them. They're coming to you, but they're then already not that scary, because you have already like kind of slightened this
Yes.
power of them. And also you have special, our brain, it's so strange, our brain actually can make psychological agreements with ourselves to postpone something, because you don't then push this idea. You're doing something right, like, I like drawing or something, or making this cross stitch, and I'm sitting like, after, okay, I'm done with this quarter, okay. And
Yeah.
first they don't want to come, like first hour they're like, I'm not coming, they're like, okay, we've been there, nothing happened. But after
Yep.
2-3 hours, like, again, like, they start like coming again to you. And then you are actually, if you immediately want to push them away, then again, no, think about pink elephant, doesn't work. But you say to
Yeah.
yourself, like, you're like, okay, it's okay, I know you, but I don't have time for you now. Tomorrow the same time we meet, I will meet you. It is true, I've
Oh,
been practicing this brief for 20 years. It helps.
amazing.
It works. It's
It
actually from this many types of research here in Norway about intrusive thoughts. So next time, please, or if you know someone, they always can reach out to me. I have a lot of
yeah.
tools of techniques now, really, how you can basically manually dressure your brain. It
Wow.
helps. It helps, because
I
then you are not in this
freedom.
jail. You come, okay, guys, come, it's okay. But I've been planning this type of activity now. You can come, you can stay. But actually I have time for you a little bit later today, like 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock. I'll see you. Because if you want to quit them, no, it doesn't work. But if you say, okay, come, but just later,
Ah.
they are not that scary. You kind of like, you can, I don't know why. I've asked so many times these doctors and
You're not
researchers.
forbidding them. You're like, "Just a
Yeah,
little bit later."
exactly. Yeah, it's okay. So come to me. It's okay. But just, sorry, not now. Later. I have a date with you. Like, I have. It is how it works. I don't know. They made like so many years of research, and this D Warren Quarter is still one of the best. They teach OCD people. Can you imagine?
I love that you said too, like, if anyone is struggling out there and is like nodding their head or crying when they're listening to this or going, "Oh my gosh," like, this is why we're doing this, is so you can reach out, like,
Yeah.
both to you, to
Yeah.
me, like, you, like, just we, we're these energetic people and we're have podcasts, we're doing this, and then it's like, yeah, our brains rebel against us sometimes, and
Hmm.
also it's okay. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay. Like, I don't feel shame about sharing this. I would say
Yeah.
probably 2 years ago, I was like, I'd be like, yeah,
Hmm.
I have OCD, I just like clean things." Yeah, I wouldn't the intrusive thoughts thing, I would because I've realized that it's okay to have challenges, to have adversity. It's okay. It's
It's
okay to share
okay.
it.
It's
Yeah.
exactly, it's okay. Like, I'm talking to my even kids now, because one of them has ADHD, and also, like, I said, you know what? It's totally okay to not be okay. Totally okay.
It's okay.
Especially with our brain. Brain is the most complicated, unresearched part of our body. And can you imagine? And I said, why it is not shameful to have, like, I don't know, diabetes or kidney
Yeah.
problems, or you broke your arm, or whatever. What is this body? Everybody like feel pity or sorry, and would like to be supportive and everything for you. Then you don't feel that it's your shame. But can you imagine? Brain is also part of its organ, which is so complicated, and it hurts. It hurts, really.
Yes.
It is the same, but why we should take so much shame and guilt? Because it's not our fault. Do I really want to be in menstrual issue? It's my fault. Do I really want to have those thoughts? No. Do you really
Oh,
want
no.
to experience them? Is it your fault? Is it like your like oh, what should I do? Intrusive thoughts. Yeah, cool, nice idea to
Yeah,
entertain.
sounds
Haha,
great.
try it.
Yeah. And then I don't know if
No,
you've had this experience where you're like, "Gosh, I just wish I had another kind of OCD," where I'm like, "Can't I
yeah,
just be the clean kind? It's so much easier." Because I'm not
exactly.
afraid of germs. I'm like, "Oh, I wish I had that one." Like, because
All
it's
the
just
time.
and,
For me
it's like
as well,
one and I read
because
a
yeah.
yeah, you wanna switch
Especially
it
when
to
you have like
something else.
suicidal thoughts, for me, like, oh my God, why I cannot be like, yeah, all this, because there are now, I know, umbrella, there are like 30 or 40 types of OCD. And actually, it's true that this intrusive thoughts, they like try to really punish your most vulnerable thing. But I love babies. It's the
Oh,
most painful things. They really could like stick me into my heart, right?
yes.
Yeah, it's exactly. And like, why I could be like, cleaning, doing whatever, but just not these type of thoughts. It doesn't work.
Yes.
It's again, then, it's again this metacognition. It's actually because when I went through this course, they said that for your brain, what type of OCD or intrusive thoughts doesn't matter at all. It's
Ah,
actually, it can be whatever type of thought it is, but this metacognition, it's what kind of pressure, meaning, everything around you put, and your brain exactly kind of you react on this type of thought, like, but your OCD doesn't
yes.
know actually. It's just your
It doesn't
reaction
know.
exactly to this one. But your brain, unfortunately, it doesn't know actually what it's you. It's because of this meta, which is about in Latin, what you actually put and stick and start
Ah.
like, like, why exactly this? This is so shameful. And like, still now, like, 2 years ago, it was very severe. And I'm like, immediately, okay, it's coming, like suicide. And then for me, like,
You can feel
how
it.
even
Mhm.
possible? I can feel so much. I have two these beautiful girls, my daughter. How can I feel like this? I'm so bad mother if I want to like this. The next one, right? Oh my God. I have my parents, they're still alive. We have survived. Like, I could compare myself with another Ukrainians. I have much more. How can I then they survive? They probably don't have it, but we don't know, right? And I have it. Then I like next layer, next layer, next layer. It's exactly what
It's
this one
just
we should train not to have. But for my brain, really, what was the source? It doesn't matter. It can be whatever it
it's a
was.
the
Like,
the
it's tricky.
brain just goes, Okay, the brain is like, I serve up a thought or an image. Now
Hmm.
she is
Yeah.
reacting to this.
Hmm.
We need to talk. We need to focus on
Engage.
this
We
more."
need to
But it doesn't
engage.
even know what it's like. Yeah, it's like, "This is important. Let's serve up more of these."
Exactly. And then we train again and again that, oh, if this thought come next time, then we already train and send the signal. This is important thought to worry about. Can you imagine that we
Yes.
actually train ourselves the pattern that next time is coming, that we actually train our muscle. This is important. I have to worry about. But this is the
Yes.
also kind of instruction that we can do something with that. We can, not with the signal itself, but to be like, metacognitive. Okay, this part of engagement we can train, like, and more we train that, okay, you can come, everything can come, but I'm still here. It's just a thought. I'm not my thought. I should not feel guilty or shame. Everybody actually get this thought. Everybody. It's a
Everybody
signal. You
does.
can never ever but for people who actually they are not switching. This is switch, they are not turn on switch. It's come and go. But we really like, oh, okay, it's you. Let's do something with that. Let's marry.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I
Ugh.
feel so seen. Yes. It's
Mhm,
just well, and let me ask you this, like, so you would to sort of sum up, if you're struggling with that,
mhm,
tell a family member, reach out, I'm gonna put resources in the show notes too,
mhm.
because the worst thing you can do is suffer in silence. That's the
Exactly.
worst thing you can do.
Exactly.
A
Mhm,
and the community of which you and I are a part of, there's no judgment here. Like, and absolutely, if you're like, where do I even begin? We can help direct you to resources depending on where you are in the world, right? Let
Absolutely.
me
And
ask
even
you,
encourage. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry.
and I was gonna say, now you and I have these brains, right, that like to just think about everything and hold on to everything, but we've trained it now. I think we know what's going on.
Hmm.
Would you say if someone's new to this and like the neurodivergent and OCD, there is a side to it. There's a where I feel like after going through this, I have a level of compassion that I never I mean, I was compassionate before OCD, like before all this, but then
Yeah,
after you come out of that, you are like, I just feel that pain for somebody so deeply if they you know what I mean?
exactly. That's why I think it's so beautiful. I always try kind of to put the glasses and watch every kind of situation from different angles, like like double
Yeah.
sword medal has
Yep.
always two sides. Of course, when you're in the middle of the storm, when it started, how possibly I could think that it can be
It's awful.
positive or whatever, but now
Yeah.
knowing that so many people struggling, so many people are exactly suffering so much in silence, especially, thank you so much, Bri, you have mentioned that.
Yeah.
That now I first of all, for me it's true. I also, I'm like you, I believe actually it happens mostly with most vulnerable people who really very sensible and sensitive already. That's why we
Ah.
actually, yeah, that's why we have this frequency of emotions. Like many people, they have a little bit like this, but you and me, we feel deeply. We're like roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yes, all the time. That's why it's
Yep.
both sides. It's good when we feel something good, then we feel like 10%, like the 100%, like When it's something like this, then like for us, it's like all the time. So actually, it's a very good thing that we are so sensitive, but also unfortunately, we have to pay the price. But now
Yes.
more and more I understand really that every situation where I'm encountering every interaction with a person, I'm first of all trying to put my, I call it glasses of empathy, because we have
Yeah.
no idea what actually this person is going through inside. Because this
Yep.
is the biggest challenge that we have been caring so much about physical disabilities, the whole society community, we have so much service support, a lot of systems, but we just in the beginning of adjusting our community to invisible um, disabilities or invisible struggles, invisible things that really changing somebody's lives impacts so much. Like I'm trying now to, before I put a lot of energy and efforts, like to outgrown, like live without that, but now I understand you cannot live without that. You can just grow into and somehow coherently start living, like coexisting with that, and better to
Yes.
put your energy, not like resist all the time, like this actually intrusive thoughts, but how, what can you do with that? And now I understand, okay, at least I can help people, other people. They don't have to be in like isolation, they don't have to feel so much shame, because first of all, we always believe that it's just me, because when you
That's
go
all it
even
is.
to the grocery, because we cannot scan maybe yet here, we cannot read, like now, if we knew just like, okay, with this special like kind of glasses, and you can say, okay, OCD, depression,
Oh,
ADHD, blah, 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 right? Then we felt immediately like, okay, it's not like you're happy because somebody's sorry, but like, oh, I can feel like less pressure, because especially now,
yeah.
social media, everybody's so perfect. When you open Instagram, oh my God, like, like everybody, all this, like, and you kind of know cognitively it's not true, but again, because
Right.
your brain take the impulses in images and scan it, scan it, scan it, scan it. It takes so much time
Beautiful.
cognitively to talk to yourself that stop brain, it's not true. Stop compare yourself. All these people, it's not actually true. They are not living like that. But your brain, like I already told you, it's impulses. It takes so much like to even
Ah,
rewire this information, right? So that's why I think that people, please reach out to me, reach out to Brie. Don't feel alone.
Yes.
Don't feel guilty. It's not your fault. It's not what you're choosing. You'll never have a choice to have intrusive thoughts or ADHD or something.
No.
It's not.
Nope.
It's not. It is very, very challenging to live with that. But it's better to start living compassionate and with empathy toward yourself and do how I actually can live with that and who can help me to live with it. Even sometimes
Yeah.
like this, just now, every single time I'm talking about this, I feel so much better, even for myself, because it's a strength to
Yeah.
talk about this. It's not a weakness, like you said now. But it took me
Yeah.
years because first time when I was in mental institution, I can even not go to the. We have like the unit for the eating, like the first floor, and my room
Yeah.
was in the second. I was so ashamed because I live in this small city in Norway, and I believe like I'm sorry.
Oh,
What
bless
if
you.
I'm sorry, thank you.
Bless you.
What if somebody could see me here? My first thought was right because I was
Yeah.
so ashamed. So that's why the doctors they came to me with food first week. I didn't have to go
Mm.
like down. But now,
Yeah.
can you imagine? Like, I'm sitting here now, like almost 20 years late, and talking to the whole world. And if I can really, I told you that change, inspire, save, whatever, anybody's life, that's my mission. That's, I think, and empathy, like you said, empathy, first of all, like to people, because I really know, oh my God, if I'm suffering so much, maybe this person in the first stadium, like I've been many years ago, because the most scary, I think, to actually to face it for the first time because I have no idea. And I just remember because last week I went to my doctor and we were talking about something not with OCD and also
Yeah.
about OCD. And he's like, oh, of course, they can never disclose any patient names or something. And we were talking like, he said, Valera, it's pandemic. So many young people now are suffering because of scrolling, social media, all this noise. And he's like, oh my God, this uh, like one very young guy, he said that he was this week for me. It was first time he experienced that he's so devastated because I can just imagine how scary when you're just 20 years old and you first time experience that. So please,
You
please never stay
know.
silent. Go reach out. So many of us, we are here for you. So you can always. I love my
Yeah.
DM. I don't have this big team,
Yeah.
really, because I want to interact with people. For me, it's much more.
Yeah.
It's my high purpose now. I want to talk to people like here, like I yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's exactly what this podcast is about, is taking, like, the trauma, turning it
mhm,
into the triumph, right? And it doesn't mean there aren't days where we might struggle, but I'll tell you, like, it is I feel like I look at myself when I first realized I had OCD, and I wanna, like, give her the biggest hug and be like,
mhm,
"It's okay. You're gonna spend, like, the next 15 years, like, learning about it, and you're gonna, like, end up having a podcast. You just don't know that yet, but I know this is hard." And, like, it's you don't know when you're in it and you're like, "This is never gonna end." But if this podcast is coming your way, this is the reason. It's there's a
yeah,
whole community of us who have no shame in talking about it and actually, like, we're our people. These are our people, right? We get it,
exactly.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Exactly. United, we are stronger, right? United, like even now,
yeah.
even me now, oh, I have you. Just you have me, like and it's already like I know this
I f
evening I'm always doing my meditation and prayer with gratitude. You will be in this, that's for sure. So you already feel like okay, you are
Thank
not
you.
alone. You're part of this family.
No.
It gives you hope, like I like that yesterday, no, 2 days ago, I was reading the post of Robin Sharma. I like his books very much.
Uh-huh.
And he said, oh, I'm eternal hopefulist. And I love it. I'm also eternal hopefulist, actually. And we
Oh,
should, especially for right people like us, we have to spread hope and I say, look,
yes.
yeah, we got it. Yes. For me also now, like I think, okay, I also started this podcast, like, where and how, and so many people already. And I'm trying to more and more share that, please, it's not weakness, it's your mental uniqueness. It's exactly after you experience first time, right? How we actually really then treat other people with the same. We like, oh my God, brother, see, I know that. Oh, I know that, right? It really
Mm.
changes everything inside you. You will never
Oh,
be the same person again.
it cracks you open, and then it's almost like I firmly believe, and I know you have a relationship with God, I firmly
Mhm.
believe the minute I started leaning into and opening up about my struggles in life, like, God I get chills saying it. God is like, "Okay, now" it's almost like that phrase of God's like, "I can work with it. I can work with you now." Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
he God wants us to I keep getting chills, full body chills now, just
yeah. Me too, actually. When
shine
you
light.
talk and that.
I am, I have full body chills, like, I just
Mhm,
authenticity, like, even if you're sharing something that's embarrassing or you think it's weird, there's nothing better than feeling like you're being honest and you're like, "This is
mhm.
what I am. This is who" it's so freeing, you know? So,
Exactly.
I
I
I
feel the
just
same. Mhm.
I feel like we could talk for 5 more hours, and I know we
Oh
will.
yeah, yeah. Me
You
too. Especially
Oh, well,
also.
this is
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
the beginning of a beautiful friendship here.
Friendship,
I'm, like,
amazing.
so grateful. Um,
Yeah, me
Valeria,
too.
I
No,
know
actually, I don't feel that it's the first time you and me talking. It's like, actually, I don't even remember that we're talking now for the podcast or
I
something.
forgot I was on the
Really?
phone.
I like,
We forgot we
I
were
like,
recording.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was amazing, About 3 weeks ago, I have my friend, she's ADHD, and we're making this beautiful course now for people's OCD, which is coming soon. And it's called Your Neurodiverse Edge. So I can share with you when we have made it.
Please,
And it was like so funny
please.
because she was visiting me here in Norway. She is from Berlin. Next week I'm flying to her. And we decided first time like to co-host the show, and we invited beautiful lady from she lives in San Francisco now. She's the ADHD entrepreneur. She's from Australia, quite known
Okay.
name in Instagram and everywhere. Ari, Ari Scott, amazing. We had this lovely
Uh-huh.
show. We laughed so much. It was like crazy. And do you believe two ADHDers, one OCD? Do you
Oh,
believe that I pressed this button? No way. And it was
it's like
already not the first, yeah. It was like the sparkle and fire and all this. We had the best time ever in our life. And then all of a sudden, because there was some technical issues and we're like running from different rooms and. So then when we've done, and actually like Claire, my friend, okay, let's look at it. Let's look at this moment, at this moment, like, because I even was showing her that I wasn't very like this here, but in downside, I was in my pajamas still, and we were like,
yeah, oh,
it was
yeah.
like
It
totally authentic, like I'm now. Yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah.
I
And then,
love
like,
it.
let's look at this episode, like this moment, and it's like, oh, we forgot to press the button. But that's why actually I made special post on Instagram still that you know what it's the beauty of the moment actually first of all to be present but we still have deep conversation, we still have changed everybody's life by this and now you know what, and it's also about authenticity and being imperfect in this world. It's okay, even that, so what, so what? It doesn't mean
Yeah,
this didn't happen. It happened. It is. And now all of a sudden, can you imagine? I'm flying to Berlin 16, and she is like, "Oh, girl, I also will be in Berlin 16th." I said, "No, God gave us opportunity to meet in real life and do it in real
that's
life."
so cool. It's like the minute you lean in, God, like, opens up these doors and opportunities where you're like, "Whoa, that was
Yeah.
amazing." Like, how did like, just I'm telling you, this has just been such the biggest blessing, and I wanna bring you back for another episode to
Yeah.
talk about all that you endured growing up in Ukraine, and I mean, I feel like I need 10 episodes with you to even
Yeah, we
scratch
should
the
have
surface.
experience. Yes, yeah, I would
Like
love to. Absolutely.
but I just admire your authenticity. I admire your openness, how you show every part of your life from the glam to the
Hmm.
here I am to the, just because it's the range of everything. And I can tell like you're inspiring me to step into who I am. And I just like people like you and Raheel and this community
Mhm.
of podcasters and like it's just incredible. I just love everything about podcasting just is what the world needs as far as just connecting. We need to talk. We just need to talk.
Yeah, we have not text but
Yeah.
talk, and my dream also that we all one day can really also meet because I'm a huge fan of hugs. I'm so under-nurtured after
Let's
COVID
do it.
still. So we can jump and hug a lot and jump and be real
Please.
and dance and and be crazy and playful and
Oh,
childish. I think it would be, oh my God, all these people who now we are like family, right? Can you imagine the energy how we can charge for so many decades just to touch each other? Oh wow.
oh. There's
Something
gonna
to
be
live
an
for.
event where we are at. I've got some big ideas too. I'm gonna have to talk to you about some
Yeah,
adventures in
let's do that.
adversity.
Yeah, my also was like, one day it will be. It will be. Now we
Yeah,
sending all this to the, start sending this to the
God's
law of
working.
universe, divine flow, and God, and I'm sure we will figure it out.
Yeah. Well, Valeria, do you wanna leave our listeners with any parting note? Obviously, all of your information is in the show notes. If you wanna get in
Mhm.
contact with her, she has so many amazing programs and things you're doing that we haven't even scratched the surface on, but all the links will be below. But how would you like to leave us for now?
First of all, thank you so much. With huge, huge basket of gratitude, genuine that you've been here with me. That it was beautiful arena. It's even arena. I felt really like we were sitting in your room or in my room
Yeah,
with coffee in morning, and like
yeah,
I'm so grateful that actually, yes, probably we had the manners or I don't know what we have been talking about like the plan, but
yeah,
I'm sure that the God always know what we have to channel even today. I'm sure that this
exactly.
information was at least very authentic, very real. I hope it can be helpful for people who also from our OCD tribe, that they can
Yep.
feel less lonely. Yeah,
Yes.
we're here with you.
We're here. We're
So
here for you, baby.
please, and for you, yeah, please thank you for everybody for their uniqueness because every single voice is unique on our planet. And neurodiversity is, I do believe it's very powerful and beautiful biodiversity of our brains. We should not forget. And my always big message that neurodiversity it's not weakness, it's mental or cognitive uniqueness. And it's not
Ah.
disability, but it's possibility and it's plus ability. And it's not
Ooh.
disorder, diff order. It's just different order. So please remember that and always not hesitate to reach out to me, to Bree. Don't feel that you are alone. Because yes, I remember many years to be misunderstood and misjudged even by myself. So no, no,
Yeah.
no. Just give the biggest compassion hug to yourself and like, what did you do today? And you can always think, I did my best. The most important, I did my best. Right? Always
I
remember
love
it doesn't matter what, you did your best. Yeah. Just to
oh,
say it in like, sometimes being maybe
and
even
to
the
hug
whole
yourself.
day in your
Yeah.
bed because you could not, but you still did your best. Still did your best. Mm.
So beautiful. I'm 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 just
Yeah, I have
I'm
goosebumps
I'm gonna
now.
go for a I'm getting chills. I'm gonna go for a walk with my dog and probably just
Me too. I'm
happy
actually
cry. I always do that after. I'm
yeah,
like, wow, thank you,
digest.
God. Yeah.
Hmm. Same for
Well,
me.
with yeah. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up, but guys, I can guarantee you this will not be the last episode with
No,
Valeria
I love it. I
because
love it.
she's my new bestie. So
Okay.
just saying.
You too. This is
Um,
this show now my drug of choice. So please, please, yes, put me because then
yes.
yeah, actually doesn't matter if we record or not record, but we would like
Let's just
people. Just let's just be
exactly.
with her. Exactly. I also will be.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm so happy now. So happy. You made
Well,
my day. Not just this day. I'm sure.
no, you made my day. And with that, I'm going to close it up. But please check the show notes and reach out. You are not alone. All right.
And
Take
you
care.
did always your best. Please remember. Yeah.
We
Much
do our
love
best.
from OC Delicious. I will call now like OC, no,
Oh,
like
see,
Delicious, OC Delicious. Oh, next we can actually put conference or this summit or whatever we can talk later, you and me. And we can call it OC
oh,
Delicious.
I, oh my gosh. I am okay.
Ah,
My brain's firing right now.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
firing all things.
I love it because
All right.
now I know my next tattoo will be like OC, not like, okay, Delicious?
Toasty
No, I will
delicious.
say delicious. Yeah.
It is. We are delicious. We are something else.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening, guys. Until next time. Take care.
Until next time. Thank you.